Okay. Hello, and welcome back to... I don't know what I'm doing. Who cares? Atlas screwed up. Persona 3 Remake is real. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna shut up. No. But, long story short, they published, they put out, they leaked their own trailer for Persona 3 Remake. And it looks amazing. It looks, well, okay, we'll go into that. It looks, I love Persona 3, and this is, like, it looks like, it sure is Persona 3. It seems, okay, okay, let's go through things relatively systematically. Of course, it's in HD. They're redoing the models. They're taking the 3D. It's like FES in the fact that it's 3D, unlike Portable, which is more of a visual novel. They have the HD character models, HD environmental models, and they seem to be. They don't seem to be redoing too much so far from what is in the trailer. It doesn't seem to be drastic gameplay differences. From when looking around, you can see his there's new UI. There's the mini map down in the corner with all the icons, which will help you, which will be much more helpful to navigate. There's new art for character portraits. The models, they seem to be like, they look like the Persona 3 dancing models. Like Yukari's looks like Persona 3 dancing, so does, like Junpei and whatever. And then, of course, there's the new, and then, of course, other characters who wouldn't have been in dancing, like, what's his name? The ramen guy. Your friend. Kenji. Who's, like, they're redoing everything. The style looks amazing. And, I mean, it looks like Persona 5. It, of course, still is very anime. It's Persona, duh. I mean, my one complaint is, like, I loved the way I played Persona 3 first was through Persona 3 Portable, and the thing it felt like it had such an early 2000s kind of aesthetic, and the way the characters looked, the way like the tech they had. I mean, those air, like the headphones that the main character was always wearing just seems very, like, it felt like a product of its time, and I mean, I still kind of like that about it. So, and I mean, the revamp of the style is, of course, good, higher fidelity graphics, but it does feel like it kind of loses something in the style and the whole kind of, I don't know. Yeah. So, but other than that, the biggest question in terms of Persona 3 Remake is, what are they doing with Tartarus? Because Tartarus is probably the most divisive part about Persona 3, and of course there's many, like, I didn't mind Tartarus, but other people, I'm sure, I've heard that other people have really hated it. So, but it seems that they are keeping it relatively similar to original Persona 3, as like original Persona 3, because in one of the shots you can see the mini map that says floor 123. So it's not like Persona 5. It's not one big dungeon. There's definitely going to be a lot of it seems like there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be more akin to original Persona 3 in possibly random generation and just having many smaller floors rather than, of course, the larger, more self-contained dungeons of 4 or 5. And so other than, and of course they're redoing the UI. The new pause screen looks incredible. It takes that style, it takes the Persona 5 style, but it's not as overly crazy bombastic and in your face as Persona 5 is. And then new Velvet Room. Oh, there's also the new music. The new music in the trailer. It seems like it might be a new remix of Mass Destruction, or they got Lotus Juice back again to do another new song. But I just hope that, it feels weird this releasing after they re-released Persona 3 Portable and it feels also weird that this was not announced during the Persona 25th, because God knows the Persona 25th needed something. But I really hope that they don't change. Of course, I hope they don't change anything with the story. They as much as I like Kasumi and all the new things they added in Royal, I don't think Persona 3 needs any new waifus or any new features or story content. And also that brings up the question of the answer, and Femsi, which are a whole nother topic, because people really want Femsi and some people really want the answer. But so this should be the ultimate version of Persona 3. And if Femsi and the answer aren't in it, it's going to be really weird and really not the best. And especially if they get sold as DLC, thank you very much, ATLUS. So that would be very problematic. But other than that, the style looks amazing. It looks like it takes everything from Persona 3 and kind of remakes it, adjusts it more in line with the Persona 5 style and how it is now or today. Because Persona, of course, has grown so much as a series, or just in popularity from when Persona 3 originally came out. So it seems like they're changing a few things, they're revamping it, but it seems to be the same game, hopefully. And we'll see once it releases, and I'm sure there'll also be some people who do crazy in-depth analysis, but other than that, that's about all I got to say on it. So, but that's not all. ATLUS fucked up not once, but twice, because they also have Persona 5 Tactica, which got leaked at the same time. And this seems to be a Persona 5 Tactics game, as in the name. And it sure does look like a Persona 5. Let's get the biggest thing out of the way: the art style. The art style is it's definitely a lot more in line with the Persona Q and on the 3DS, Persona Q and Persona Q2 on the 3DS, which take the more chibi art style. It's kind of it's similar, but it's also the longer limbs and whatever. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's fine, it is what it is, but it could be better. I'm sure it is not lower budget, but just easier to do, so it is what it is. And just the concept of a Persona Tactics game. I know Devil Survivor, I believe it's Devil Survivor, came out. Well, Devil Survivor was the first kind of, maybe the first, I don't know, the SMP Tactics game that I know of, at the least. And it seems to be kind of more XCOM. I don't know. It's from the battle system. It does also. It's not as much Fire Emblem, or Fire Emblem or Devil Survivor, and more kind of XCOM. Though I don't have enough experience with XCOM to say. So the battle system looks cool. Tactics games are fun, but we'll see once we get more details on it. And then also just general premise, it seems to be kind of like more historical with the setting, because this first setting seems to be in like seems to be French, and also the French Revolution, because, though don't take my word for it, but also there seems to be like the idea of revolution, because at some point in the trailer it says like, oh look, or we will aid your revolution, or something along those lines. But so it may be historical revolutions, because there's also this Japanese area, and I don't know enough about Japanese history to be able to point out one specific time period. But again, it's taking historical influences and areas and turning them into Persona 5 things, where there's going to be a big bad guy, and then we're going to steal his heart, and then everyone's going to smile and be happy. And I mean, that is kind of how Persona 5 works, and that's the gameplay loop. But I mean, it works. It's fine. It's been kind of done to death at this point in all the Persona 5 things. But we'll see if it's actually iterated upon in an interesting way. But I mean, other than that, it seems cool. It seems interesting. I wonder how the gameplay and the story will be executed, and whether they will actually be good. But other than that, I'm kind of more neutral. Persona 3 is where the real hype is. That's coming out in 2024, and this is coming out in November. And so, other than that, seems good. But Persona 3 is really where it is. And yeah, that's about it. I don't know. This was, again, kind of more rambling and just breakdown and discussion, thoughts, whatever. So, if you actually care, for whatever reason, about my random opinion on the internet, you can do the YouTube things, you know them, I don't need to tell you. But other than that, I think I'm going to head out. I don't know. Peace. See ya.